Hello, we are group four. This is Jamil, Suhas, Kriti, and Shabina. Uh, we as a group explored the Equifax 2017 data breach, its implications and compliance issues with PIPEDA, which is the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act. So this presentation provides a comprehensive analysis of the breach's causes, its consequences, and the lessons it offers for the data security and privacy standards. Moving on to the overview of the Equifax breach. So the breach revealed quite a few vulnerabilities across the employees, processes, and the systems. These were the key factors which were the cause of the breach. The hackers exploited the unpatched software, which is the Apache Struts, and the poor security controls to access the sensitive data of the clients. The incident destroyed the trust of the public in Equifax, and that subjected the company into a terrible scrutiny, which showcases the risks of inadequate cybersecurity measures. Jomel will move forward with the presentation.
Thank you. All right. PIPEDA is a law that governs how business handle personal information, how they collect, how they use, and how they protect it. In the case of Equifax Canada, they failed to properly protect these informations, particularly when sharing it to with its U.S. Parent company when the breach occurred. Um, the investigation found that Equifax Canada violated several key principles of PIPEDA. So here are some of the principles that were violated. The first one is accountability. Equifax failed to properly oversee third parties, such as its U.S. parent company, and didn't maintain control over personal data. The second one is accuracy. Equifax didn't ensure that personal information was accurate, which is a fundamental part of protecting the people's privacy. And lastly, safeguards. The company did not have sufficient safeguards or monitoring systems in place, which allowed the breach to happen. PIPEDA plays a crucial role in protecting personal information and ensuring business are held accountable. Here are some importance of PIPEDA. The first one is building trust. Uh, it helps people feel confident that companies are doing their job or their part to safeguard their sensitive data. This builds trust in the digital world as consumers know that business must follow strict standards to keep uh, information source. It's secure, sorry. The second, PIPEDA gives individual the rights to understand how their information is collected, used, and handled. This transparency is key in maintaining trust and ensuring that companies respect personal privacy. And lastly, PIPEDA ensures that Canada remains aligned with international privacy standards. In a globalized world, data often crosses borders, and it's important that personal information is protected, even when it is outside of Canada.
Okay, so let's dive into the main issue and the solutions Equifax could implement to prevent the future incidents. First, coming to the employees, particularly this particular breach, like showed the staffs weren't adequately trained in cybersecurity. There were a lot of confusion over the roles, like who needs to be done what. They missed opportunities to fix their weaknesses. There's lack of preparation of handling the threats. The solution is like we will need to invest a lot of time in the training programs to build awareness and assign clear responsibilities, like who needs to be what needs to be done by whom, and conduct regular simulations to ensure that the team is like respond effectively immediately. Next was like the process. Equifax data management was very outdated. They had retained old data, which were like much longer than should have had. I mean, it was not required to have such old data. Like example, they had customers' data which is around 2010, which is still accessible during that particular breach. Uh, to address this uh, uh, problem, you will need to automate the auto deletion on the retention policies is like very crucial or critical. Additionally, there will need to be a clear communication with the customers, like how their particular data is used, along with the regular audits to ensure that it enforces these policies. Finally, the systems hackers exploited known vulnerabilities in Equifax software that had not been done in few months. Like they had a weak network security and outdated certificates made things even worse, giving the attackers access to multiple databases. The solution involves strong database security, real-time monitoring to detect if there is any suspicious activities, and immediately patching the vulnerabilities when they have like if when they have been identified. You have to fix that particular weakness or vulnerabilities. Can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. So the Equifax breach is like a reminder of how important it is to address the gaps in employees training, process enforcement, and system security. We have to improve staff training and accountability. Like, you have to give them the roles and responsibilities that they have to handle, and enforce like strict data policies and upgrade technology with real-time monitoring. And companies can not only prevent similar incidents but can rebuild the trust with their customers. This case is like it really underlies that cybersecurity isn't just a technical challenge, it is an organizational thing that will require all the efforts across the people, process, and the systems. Over to Kriti.
Thank you, Suhas. Let me delve towards what we have learned throughout this 9 weeks of security, ethics, privacy, and in business analytics. So our group discussed on various ethical theories related to this case. So according to the Cantonian principle of universality and humanity, one should adhere to a universal law, and they should not use people as a means to some kind of end. So, and according to utilitarian theory, um, one should focus more on maximizing the happiness and minimizing the bad things. But this company, Equifax, failed to adhere to the standard PIPEDA principle of safeguard because they did not set a robust system to protect the privacy of the people, and their incompetence to handle the breach caused more distress among the thousands of people, which violates the utilitarian principle. Other than that, we also talked about the leadership role in the company. The company could not fix a known software flaw. They had a poor unsegregated network. They ignored the retention policy. They the company's employees even didn't know about the record owner or the one who should be implementing the retention policy. They were using expired security certificates. This was a clear example of failure in leadership. We in business, we all know that privacy, security, responsibility, and consent goes hand in hand. Hand in hand. So a company is responsible to protect a customer's privacy. They're responsible to take consent before using someone's data, and they are responsible to let them know how they are using this data. And in case of data breach, they're also responsible to let them know that data breach has occurred, and they should be responsible to compensate about the data breach. Both Equifax Inc. and Equifax Canada failed to comply with the PIPEDA rules. They failed to comply with the principles, various principles, including safeguard, retention, consent. Um, Equifax Inc., which is the US company, had the customers' data, had the Canada's customers' data without the consent of the individuals, them not deleting the old files and not making sure of the security certificates are the clear example of negligence towards the PIPEDA Act. PIPEDA safeguard principles wants to make sure that the internal and external assessment for improving and monitoring the system, and also about the regular penetration testing. But Equifax did a Equifax ISO 27001 certification assessment, which was done in 2014, and it did not specify the Canada. And PCI DSS certification, which is used for securing the card data, also did not cover the personal information. And the internal penetration testing was done only once a year. And also the tools and technology that were used for the penetration was not as strong as the ones the hacker use. So they were not following this PIPEDA safeguard principle. After the data breach had occurred, Equifax let the people know about it, but they did not provide enough compensation. They only offered free credit card monitoring for 2 years, which is not enough, as Equifax Canada is a company handling thousands of customers. So they should be providing much more compensation than just free credit card monitoring of 2 years. So here are a few recommendations our group want to give. So they should be using automated patch system to deal with the immediate issues like the Apache Strut. They should be segmenting the network for sensitive data. They should be implementing advanced intrusion detection systems. They should be doing the regular vulnerability and penetration testing. They should be protecting the data with multi-factor authentication and encryptions. They should be regularly training and awareing the employees about the cybersecurity breach and systems. They should also make the third-party vendors comply with their security standards. This will help with the data breach. I'd like to give the presentation to Sabina.
Thank you, Kriti. So we came across in this presentation, we came across different aspects of this case. We discussed the issues, the consequences, and the recommendations. Now I will just conclude the presentation. So the 2017 Equifax data breach was a wake-up call to about the importance of protecting personal information. It showed how failures in employee training, outdated processes, and weak systems could exposed the sensitive data and what damage it caused to the clients, and it also did damage their trust in the company. So this incident reminds us that businesses must prioritize strong cybersecurity practices, employee training, like especially in this aspect, and like automated updates, real-time monitoring, and better training to the employees, of course, to keep the data safe. Uh, we as we as a group believe that protecting personal information isn't just a legal checkbox. It's about respecting the people who trust you in their trust you with their data. Thank you. That'll be all for this presentation.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.